I've always been interested in the impact of life, the first 6 years of life, on kids' brains, on their futures, on the trajectories that are set for their life in terms of, their health, their mental health, and their well-being. And so that coupled with poverty is a double challenge for us, and it's one of the pieces that we promised as Canadians that we would do differently.
Just because you're living in poverty doesn't mean you're not working hard. I think that's one thing we've got to dispel the myth of. A lot of people think that, you're living in poverty, you must be lazy. And there's a lot of people living in poverty that are working their tails off, and my mother was one of them.
I hide my feet under the desk so the teacher won't get mad because I don't have boots.
I was afraid just for my son, just not having anything, or me not having anything, being so young with nothing behind me, and a lot of people were fed up with me being the way I was, and I just didn't know what I was going to do.
I feel ashamed because my dad can't get a job.
Sometimes the shame hits you smack dab in the forehead. You don't understand that, when you're going to lunch on Friday and you're bringing a brown bag and the rest of the kids are eating pizza.
I can only speak for ourselves, but I think other businesses that are out there and doing well can certainly feel a responsibility for the community that they live in, that they pay their wages in, that they buy their products in, and the biggest asset we have in that community are our young people.
It makes you feel like, you can't provide for your family. I still feel that way sometimes when, like she wants to do an extracurricular activity or wants to join, like say, gymnastics or something like that. It's something that doesn't fit in our budget.
I'd have to say my self-esteem definitely went down quite a bit because I didn't really have nothing to stand on or nothing to keep me going.
I'm afraid to tell my mom I need new gym shoes.
From time to time, we need somebody's strong hand on our shoulder to say, we're going to give you a hand. So we work with all the different agencies and the groups to say, we're here to help you. Don't worry. If something goes wrong, we'll help you. You got to fix it yourself. But the reality is, we're not going to stigmatize you, nor are we going to put you back on the street.
Bethlehem Place for me is a blessing. This past Christmas really showed me it was a blessing.
It's easy to identify. You'll see the stress in a lot of the parents' faces, as well as just some individuals in our community who are working, maybe serving you or maybe at a counter or at a restaurant or something like that, and just trying to understand those people are working very hard to try to make ends meet and trying to raise a family. And so they're not, as I said before, they're no less of a person than I am, and no less of a person than anybody else.
Other kids tease me about the way I dress.
I mean, there are some big world challenges that we need to figure out and face, and so, those solutions are going to come from our brightest and our youngest.
I am a good mother now, and I've now got my education behind me, my grade 12, now going to be going to college, and that I'm a good person because of the supports that I've gotten and have had from people.
Is it acceptable to live in poverty and stop doing the blame game and saying they're in poverty because they're lazy? I think we got to end that and just say, is it socially acceptable to be living in poverty in Canada today in 2008?
Sometimes I pretend that I forgot my lunch.
People are human. People make mistakes. And if somebody wants it, people can see when you want something, and if you're taking action to get what you need to do, people are willing to help you out along the way.
It's not right. It's not what we want for Canadians. It's not what we want for kids. And I think we need to, look very seriously, especially over this next couple of years, as to how we're going to solve this.